Welcome back. We are here yet again for one of my most favorite days of the week when we are coming to you with special guests talking all about the commitments we make to ourselves. I try to bring on guests that not only will add to your lives, but will be nuggets of information that you can take away and say, oh my gosh, it really resonated me when Tammy's guest said this or Tammy's guest said that. So today, you guys, I'm here for the ladies. Oh, actually, ladies and the men. It can be both. We're talking with America's favorite dermatologist, Dr. Tess Mauricio of M Beauty Clinic. And you guys, to say that I'm excited about this is putting it mildly, because it's really tough to introduce her because there's so many critically acclaimed, wonderful accolades about this woman and her practice. And she's here today. We're going to talk everything anti-aging. We're going to talk everything about your beautiful skin, because we know our skin is indicative of what's going on the inside, right? So we're going to talk with Dr. Tess today. Welcome.
Great to be here. Thanks, Tammy.
So excited.
Thanks for that intro, by the way.
Well, I tried to think about how to introduce you, but there's so many adjectives that I could use that I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to keep it real, right? The truth of the matter is you are America's favorite dermatologist for so many reasons. I know since I've been seeing you, I've seen a huge difference. And I'm such a fan, not just of you and the work that you do, but I'm such a fan of your practice. I'm such a fan of the front desk people. Every person, from the moment you make a phone call to getting to your practice to being seen, is so on point with you as a human being.
Well, M Beauty Clinic, it's a family affair. For those who don't know, I'm the oldest of 4 kids, and my siblings, we all work together at M Beauty Clinic. And so we tell people, when you come in to M Beauty Clinic, you become part of our family, and we hire our team based on their heart. And this is something that I truly believe in, that this is part of the healing process and the reason why we get incredible results at M Beauty Clinic. So it's not just the things that we're doing on the skin, but it's the spirit and the energy exchange and the caring and the culture.
Yeah.
And people feel it. And even my own colleagues who are physicians, they go and as patients and they're like, where do you find your team? And I really feel like, it's really from the heart.
Yeah.
And I'm so happy that you feel that. So
yes, I do. And I'm one of those consumers where I'm very loyal, and it doesn't matter how far I have to drive or fly, for that matter, I will be that person. And I'm really big in supporting small businesses, right? Local businesses. Not that you're a small business, but you are a local business that's become internationally known. Like, everybody knows who you are. You've treated celebrities, you've treated sports figures. I mean, you've treated everybody from the mom who just had a baby to Boyz to Men.
Yes.
Right? I mean, that's such a range.
That's what I did this weekend. It was so surreal, coming as an immigrant. My whole family immigrated to San Diego in 1984. I went to Hoover High School. I went to University of California, San Diego. So this is my hometown. And it was surreal this weekend because we were at the Hollywood Bowl, and headlining was Paula Abdul and Boyz to Men, who are both, my patients. They're my dear friends. And so I was like, just that moment thinking of, where I came from to there. I'm just so grateful, and thanking God for the opportunity to be there and use my talents to really help people from all walks of life, from all ages, to really feel and live their best life.
And that is such a powerful place to come from, because you touched upon, God, and just having that faith and knowing that we are all servants and we are here to be of service. And that is exactly how I feel when I am in your clinic. And I'm not kidding you guys. From the moment you make the phone call, you feel welcome, you feel special, you feel like, oh my gosh, like this is how it should be. Not that other practices are doing something wrong, but this is how it should be. You feel it. So whatever you're doing, it's working. And I believe it's the family aspect of it, because it's, you surround yourself with those who are like-minded, who all have the same goal in mind, and that's to provide care for your patients.
Absolutely.
And it doesn't matter if they are Paula Abdul or the Kardashians, right? It could be someone who is recovering from melasma, and doesn't even know they have melasma, and they thought it was hyperpigmentation, right? So you treat them with care. So Dr. Tess, You're a San Diego native. Walk me through how you became Dr. Tess, how you decided this is the course that I want to take. I want to help people with their skin.
Well, when I was a medical student at Stanford, I actually did all my research in psychiatry. And I thought I was going to be a psychiatrist because I felt like if I can help my patients, with their mental well-being or psychological well-being, then I am doing a great service. And then I did my rotation in dermatology, and then I found these kids with really bad acne who are not looking at you. They're shy. They're covering their faces. They're not going to any social events. You treat their acne and they turn into confident, they're dating, they're smiling at you. And I'm like, wow, this is a powerful tool. Dermatology and helping someone with their skin is a powerful tool in improving someone's quality of life, self-esteem. And that is how I approach everything that we do at the clinic. It's really these incredible technologies that we do for the skin, for the body, for the hair, are tools to really just uplift your spirit and uplift your self-esteem. And so that's how it all started. And it was not planned. No one in my family is a doctor and no one's an entrepreneur. And so my goal really was just to find a job. But I think, God has a bigger plan, and I just wanted to practice medicine the way I wanted to practice. I wanted to be more personalized. I want to spend the time to really look and treat my patients as a whole, as a whole person. And I, in different situations, different types of practices, it didn't allow me to do that. So I just said, I'm just going to do it on my own. And that's what happened. And then the TV thing and the celebrity thing, I work with laser companies, and they're like, Dr. Tess, we need someone to go on the Rachel Ray show to treat Rachel Ray with this new device.
Sure.
And they're like, they picked me. They're like, we think you can do it. And I've never done it before. And so I did it, and everybody, thought I did a great job. Same thing with becoming a speaker in big conferences. It wasn't planned. It's sort of like someone tells me to do it. I always say yes to opportunities and learn as you go. And, and you just kind of go along. Life's an adventure.
Wow. So that's like a really good story about how God's hand is literally directing you, because you didn't, there's no other physicians in your family. B, you didn't go looking for these opportunities. They came to find you. So this is a good example when you really allow yourself to be in alignment with your faith and just know that you want to make a difference, and you've chosen the medical field to make a difference, and the rest just kind of fell into your lap.
And absolutely, I teach my kids this. I tell them, do and be your very best every day, and then try to be a blessing to others. And then the rest really, a lot of our life is not under our control. How we respond, what we do, and all we can do is be and do our best, and try to be of service. And, the rest is really mind-blowing if you just allow, just like I said, like at the Hollywood Bowl, and it ended with a fireworks show, and I'm like just really looking up, and I'm like, thank you, God,
What's so cool about you, Dr. Tess, one of many things, is you're so humble. I watch you. When you go to your clinic, there are pictures of celebrities everywhere. I'm talking every celebrity known to mankind. There's a photo of you and them, or you and your husband and them. It's just overwhelming to the layperson to think that your hands are touching their face, working on them, when you've worked on the Kardashians, you've worked on Paula Abdul, the Boyz II Men, and many other celebrities. You're so humble about this, and in your social media as well, posting at the Hollywood Bowl, you're singing on stage. I can't remember where it was you were singing, but the humility that you display is so overwhelming and so beautiful for a woman. You have a powerful microphone in your hand every day of your life. You've been given a microphone, and you have been entrusted with that microphone by God to speak and use it wisely and steward what you have. You are stewarding the sheep that are around you, and that's your patients, that's your staff, that's your family, but yet you're so humble about it. Has there been one occasion when you treated a celebrity where it was your pinch me moment and you said, oh my gosh, like, am I really at this place?
Yes. Well, I think the Kardashians, that's kind of crazy. And that, when I did the biopsy on Khloe Kardashian's face, there's a spot there that's been growing. It's been there for months. And, basically they just wanted me to burn it because they thought it's just a spot. And I looked and I'm like, Khloe, I think we should do a biopsy. And Kris Jenner, her mom, was there. And I'm like, Kris, I think we should. And then actually doing that in the middle of Khloe's face. And I'm like, whoa, this is kind of crazy. And then the first time you meet, Kim, and they're very, very down to earth. But it's like one of those things where this is something that you would never plan, and you can't even like force things to happen so that it ends up being that way. And I think the older that, the older that I become, I really become more of a believer in, in your destiny. And like you said, and the humility comes from really just feeling humbled. Like, there's so many more talented people than me. There's so many more deserving people than me. And so it's like, why am I the one? I really feel like it's a bigger plan. And I think everybody, all of us has a platform. All of us have talents, and we all have stories that can inspire people. And I think it's really just, now that we have social media, we have so many ways to really help each other and uplift each other. And that's kind of just what we're all doing. You're doing this, Tammy, incredible work as well. And I'm just so excited to share this platform with you. And thank you for trusting us. Thank you for trusting my team to take care of you.
And that's, again, it's all about supporting one another, right? So when you decided this is what you were going to do, M Beauty Clinic was then born, right? You've got a family business here, and you're celebrating how many years?
We're celebrating 20 years
Woo-hoo,
of our practice.
yes.
It's crazy. I think you become humble when you think about that. Like, 20 years goes by so fast. And then now I'm in the phase of my life where I just recently become an empty nester.
Yes.
And our daughter is going to be graduating from medical school soon.
Wow.
And so you're really thinking more like legacy, and you're thinking more of your greater impact.
Yeah.
My husband and I are going to do a podcast. I'm thinking about writing a second book, those types of things going on, maybe like a speaking tour and all of that as far as new technologies and regenerative medicine.
Yes.
So there's a lot of things that are in the horizon. But again, that's what we plan, but, sometimes God has other plans. Yeah.
All the time. And I think he sometimes, I think not all sometimes, but I think he does. He'll look down on us and say, oh, that's great. I like how you have your plans all figured out. Let me just get a hold of those plans and turn it around a little bit, right? Let's see and test our faith when it's not going the way we want it to, just to see what our heart's all about. Okay, so all of this success took place. You're treating, a multitude of patients, and they come in, they look so happy when they're at the practice. They look amazing, both men and women alike, even younger patients that I've seen while in the waiting room. And you just have this really dynamic, fast-paced, impactful practice, and you're doing what you're doing. What do you do daily? What habits do you have that get you fired up to pursue your passion, and how do you stay passionate about this?
Well, I think self-preservation is very important for all of us, right? Self-care during COVID, I think we became more attuned to that. And whatever it is, I think a morning routine and morning ritual is really important. Today, I woke up, I always try to listen to either, Pastor Rick or some type of affirmations. I pray, and then this morning I worked out, and then had time with my family, whatever it is like that. But really, it's really taking care of your mind, your spirit, your body, because this is the vehicle that will take us to do what we need to do. And so I try to do that. I pray throughout the day, and even while I'm doing treatments. And I truly believe that this really helps in delivering incredible results for patients, in that I am praying with them sometimes with them, sometimes just, quietly as I am doing the treatments. Before I go in and do lipo, I'm praying for, for my hands and for my strength and for focus. And it really decreases the anxiety, especially when you're treating like celebrities and they can't have any downtime. You can't cause any bruising, that type of thing. Or just like you're really praying there. And I think family and your support system is so important. And I tell people, no matter where you are, no matter how successful, however you define success, wherever you end up in life, if you don't have your support system and the people who love you that you can share that with, it won't mean anything.
It's just why are we doing this, right? If you don't have that. So let's talk a little bit about why you do what you do, skin. Let's talk about it, right? Now I know as a menopausal woman, my skin has changed a lot. It has changed tremendously. But what I have found also is with the correct treatments and obviously diet, you can, and I don't like calling it anti-aging. I like calling, we're managing it. We're not, because we can age gracefully and age beautifully, I feel like. So as a menopausal woman, what are some tips that you could give to that woman who's out there right now, who's experiencing that dullness? What kind of treatment give 3 tips maybe on what they could do to help that.
Well, absolutely. I think there's definitely need to be more awareness. Perimenopause can start happening in your early 40s. So your skin's changing, and you may not really, attribute that to hormonal changes, but like you said, your skin is just feeling dry. Maybe you're breaking out. Maybe, you're starting to see discoloration. Skin is more sensitive, those types of things. And definitely as estrogen declines and becomes depleted around menopause, everything, like some women will tell me, just like that, overnight my skin changed, and it's because of estrogen decline. And so I really urge women out there, if you are starting to see and feel those skin changes, consult there are a lot of anti-aging, or wellness doctors now that really want to take a look at your hormonal status and may recommend some supplements. And then as far as dermatology is concerned, there's a lot of different ways to rebuild the collagen that is lost. There's a lot of ways to address discoloration, redness, flushing, acne, topical products with exosomes, with hyaluronic acid, with vitamin C, peptides, incredible topicals now that are really with incredible science that you can use to kind of do all of it together. And I'm getting hormonal replacement. I'm menopause. I'm 53 in November. And I obviously utilize all of the incredible collagen banking and collagen building treatments that we offer, and regenerative therapies that we offer.
Yeah. So talk to me a little bit about men. Obviously, I have seen an influx with men being more aware of their skincare regimens, whereas men before wouldn't even put on moisturizer to go outside, right? So talk to me a little bit about the influx of that and what you're seeing more in your practice or as an overall, occurrence with men and taking care of their skin.
Oh, for sure. I'm really happy, that they are coming in. I think they're coming in usually to treat some of the wrinkles that make them look mean and intense, like the 11s and then the forehead lines. So those are easy to treat with Jeuveau or Botox, easy, and no one really knows. And it's really based on doing it right so they don't look unnatural. I think for men, number one, they probably don't want people knowing they're getting treatments, and 2, it's really detrimental if they look unnatural. And then skincare, they're coming in treating sun damage, sunspots, age spots, and then they're coming in for hair restoration. As dermatologists, we are the leaders, and we also are the experts in hair and skin. And so we're doing a lot of laser treatments for hair, platelet-rich plasma, even hair transplantation.
Wow. Okay. And I'm thinking, and the layperson probably thinks, oh, why would I see a dermatologist for hair care, right?
Yes.
That's a thing now.
Well, it is, people don't know that dermatologists are really the experts for hair. And so if you are suffering, and men and women, and especially around hormonal times, after you've given birth, around menopause, it's just natural as we age that our hair will suffer, it'll get thinner. You want to be proactive, and that's the key message here, is that you don't want to wait until you have experienced a lot of hair loss. And if you do have hair loss, you want to address it as soon as possible.
You said something real key here. It's preventative, right?
Yes.
I mean, there's so many people, women and men alike, where they get to a point where a lot of this could have been prevented had they taken steps or had they consulted with a dermatologist to manage, what all of us inevitably will experience.
Yes, absolutely. And when I started my practice 20 years ago, that was that's what my theory was, right? Is if I would do these types of treatments, non-invasive, no major, non-surgical treatments on my own skin, and do great sun protection. Obviously, lifestyle plays a big role. I don't drink, I don't smoke. I try to really stay away from major sun exposure. I take supplements as well. That we can really prevent aging. And then you don't need the major treatments. You don't need the surgery. And that really is showing to be true.
Yeah.
A lot of data is really showing that you can, really like freeze yourself at a certain point as long as you're doing the right thing.
And that's the point, right? It's preventative, right?
Correct.
A lot of this can be alleviated, and I feel like we're in such a place now with society where it's not even about looking fake anymore, where before it was too much work being done on a person, where now they're reverting back to more natural and enhancing what you have. One thing I love about you, among many things, is when I came into for a consult, and I remember talking to you about doing some fillers, my lips and what have you, you were so honest with me, where most practitioners would have said the opposite, and you said, no, you should not do that. And here's why. You told me because right now you look natural, you look this, you look that, where most practitioners or injectors would say, oh yeah, sure, let's go ahead and fill it up. Let me just do this, and we'll do this and do that. And you're trusting them, right? But you were the opposite, and that made me feel so comfortable where, wow, this is what it's all about right here. You actually have somebody who is looking out for your best interests. And that's obvious through your whole practice. So you've got M Beauty. You've got how many locations now?
We have 3. So we have 2 in San Diego, and then we see patients in Beverly Hills.
So how do you ever have fun? You're always working. Always. Oh, you're going to concerts.
I have a lot of fun. I actually have too much. No, I have too much fun. I have fun. Work is fun. Yeah. And, the type of people and my patients like you. I mean, it's such an amazing practice that we have. We are so incredibly blessed. My team and I talk about it all the time. We're like, we have like the best patients. We have the sweetest patients. And then of course I since I work with my family, it's like, even when we're working, it's like we're having fun.
Yeah.
And then we do go to concerts a lot. We do a lot of events. Yeah. We have a lot of parties at my house. So I think we do have a lot of fun. What I would like is a little bit more rest, downtime, and maybe Sabbath, kind of thing.
But, yes, I do know.
But fun is fun. We do have a lot of fun.
So what do you see, what's on the horizon besides the possible second book, your podcast? What's on the horizon?
I think, it's really just making a greater impact. So trying to figure that out, and maybe, going to Asia. Now that we are empty nesters, there's always been a question. We have my family has a reality show on the Filipino network called GMA Pinoy TV. It's been there for 6 seasons.
What? What's it called?
Satellite. It's All in the Family with Dr. Tess.
Oh my gosh.
So, so season 6 will be out sometime in the fall. And so there's been questions like, when are you going to open in the Philippines? Are you ever going to go there? Or so maybe I'll consider it now. We'll see.
So Dr. Tess, given that you're from the Philippines, and I know this resonates with me because my mother's from the Philippines, and when she came over to this country, she saw a world of opportunity, but felt like because she was an immigrant, she didn't have as much opportunity. How did you overcome that to thrive the way that you are? What are some of the things that you actually went through, and what did you do to overcome that?
I think it's a very, very difficult path. And it's underestimated because, most immigrants don't talk about it. You just kind of, if you're from the mother country, you look at people in America and you think they're like so successful, they have so much. But really, I mean, it's really heartbreaking a lot of times, and you have to swallow your pride a lot of times, and you get passed on opportunities just because you're not, the right look. And definitely I've experienced my, my share of heartaches. And it's hard because my parents did not have a network. They didn't have the money to help me. My kids have it much better for sure. And so I really have to bootstrap everything. And I didn't know. I had no kind of know-how.
No blueprint.
Right,
yeah.
no blueprint.
Yeah.
So I'm just doing that and maybe, just making the mistakes here and there and just trying everything.
Yeah.
And so I think that what got me through it is just sheer, just not taking no for an answer. Yes, just determination, hard work, and again, my support system, because I felt like, okay, I'll just try it. If it fails, what's the worst thing that can happen? But it's really, really difficult, and I feel like we need support, and this is one of the things that I am very passionate about. I like to share my story, just because, maybe when I started at Stanford, I was the only Filipina. When we go to big conferences, medical conference, usually I'm the only female, Asian, female, non-white person, and then many times I get mistaken for a nurse. They will look at me, and which is fine. I've gotten used to it, but you really have to prove yourself, and you cannot make a mistake. You almost feel like it's always like a fight.
Under the microscope, always.
Right.
Yeah.
And you have to be so much better than everyone else for you to even have a shot.
Where does that resolve come from? I know it's cultural, because I think as Filipinas, we're wired that way.
Yes.
Right. We are wired to be resourceful. We are wired to, when we make a commitment, we follow through with it. We're hard workers. We're dedicated. We're all of those things. But where does your resolve come from? Where did it come from then? And now I feel like you're just settling into it, because now it's like a well-oiled wheel now, right? It's just doing its own thing.
Yes. Well, when we immigrated, we ended up on 35th Street, in a one-bedroom little place, and we didn't have a washer. We had to take our laundry across El Cajon Boulevard to go to the laundromat. When we would want to eat pizza, we'd preheat the oven, and a bunch of cockroaches will run out of the oven. So we come from that when we immigrated, and so being the oldest, I feel like, okay, I felt I took on that responsibility, and I was able to do it. I was working from the time I was 14, worked at McDonald's, I worked at a realtor place. I did telemarketing. I did door-to-door vacuum cleaner sales, So I just did what it took. And yeah, I think now I'm kind of enjoying, like you said, I'm enjoying and trying to just get a perspective and appreciate how lucky I am.
You do need to write another book. You do. So if a person is out there listening right now and they have some skincare issues and they can't afford to go to a dermatologist right now, what are some over-the-counter suggestions?
Yes. So, I work
sun protection and
right. No, I think the basic skincare products that you must have. You have to have a good cleanser, and depending on your skin type, right? If you have oily skin versus if you have more mature skin, so you may want to do a cream cleanser. You want a moisturizer. You may want to get an under eye cream if you're 40 and older. And then, of course, sunscreen. And those are the basic. And number 7, actually, I work with them. It's a really great, really affordable line. Great science behind it. The Future Renew line is incredible. They actually have a menopause line, too.
Sign me up.
So that's a really great one where if you're like, okay, well, I want great quality skincare, but,
right. Don't have the money to spend on it. So talk to me a little bit about, I mean, there's this misnomer about when it's cloudy out, because we have a lot of May gray, right? We have the overcast, feeling here all the time. You can still have sun damage. Tell us a little bit about that, because a lot of people think, oh no, it's cloudy outside, I don't need to put sun protection. Yes, you do.
Yes, you do. Just make it a habit. Yeah. Usually I tell people, think about it like when you brush your teeth, in the morning, wear your sunscreen. And absolutely. And even on a cloudy day, even when you're flying in an airplane, skiing, you are getting UV exposure, and it's cumulative. And not only are you going to increase your risk for skin cancer, but also accelerate your skin aging. And so I think more people are sort of motivated to protect their skin, to prevent skin aging, than even skin cancers. But, skin cancer is the most common form of cancer in the United States. And melanoma can be deadly, and even in younger people.
Yeah, I believe that, because they're fearless. They're out there just, let me
and
just go to the beach.
Go and don't do tanning beds.
Oh my gosh.
Right. That is a big take home from this.
Yes. So if there were one treatment that if somebody were sitting in your chair, that would be kind of a one size fits all for someone who has kind of combination skin, what would be that one treatment? Because I'm that person where I'm like, I want to do this, I want to do that. Sometimes it might do more harm than good. What would that one treatment be for someone who has combination skin?
Right. So our most popular treatment that people travel from all over the world, they come to the clinic and get it done. It's not something they have to do all the time. If you could only do it once in your lifetime, it would be worth it, is the time machine procedure. The time machine procedure is customizable, but essentially what it is a combination of skin resurfacing using energy, whether it's a laser or fractional radiofrequency or plasma energy, to really remove the signs of sun damage, improves wrinkles, pore size, texture, gives you tightening. But we combine that with platelet-rich plasma, which are growth factors from your blood, and then we microneedle it, allow it to heal. It's like fertilizing your skin for collagen. And in one visit, you can really take years off, and it is a permanent reset on the aging of your skin. So it's an amazing
kind of
procedure.
A one size.
And it's all natural.
Oh,
exactly.
I love that. Why haven't I done that yet? I need to
That's
come
your
back.
next
That's
thing.
my next thing right there. So what's on deck next? I mean, I know you've got all these things. You want to go to Asia. You're doing all these things. So in the next 3 or 4 months, since the year is coming to a close, what exciting things? I know you do these webinars or these on Wednesdays. You always have something going on at the practice. Yes. So what's an educational opportunity that someone could either log on to with your practice or actually attend in person that would introduce them to not just who you are, but what you offer?
Yes. So actually tonight I'm hosting a webinar for physicians on the latest laser technology that we have called Vidance, and it's an incredible new technology from Brazil. And it's cool because it can treat all skin types, and you can treat acne, you can treat hair loss, you can resurface the skin, hidradenitis suppurativa. So we're going to talk about that and how we use that in combination with our time machine procedure. We do have regular webinars, and the most important thing is that we offer free consultations. And free consultations is really a way for my team and I to address your individual issues. You send us photos, you tell us what you need, and then we will educate you, because there's so much out there. It can be really overwhelming. We'll educate you on what you should do. We'll recommend you what the treatments, the products, and then you will get a quote. So then maybe you can't do it now, but maybe something you can plan for in the future. So that use that consultation, free consultation, as a way to really educate yourself, because we can target and customize it to what you need.
So an introduction would be, I mean, that's all. I'm a fan of those, because you can really just talk about everything and then
go
from
what
there.
We did, yes.
And then give us a treatment plan and go forward. And you guys, that's what she does. She'll talk with you, address all your concerns, give you printed out treatment plan of what you can do in the order that you can do it, which I love. So if there is a young woman or man out there right now coming from another country or just got here, what advice would you give them as an entrepreneur? Because you got into a business, you have to have faith to get into your business, because it's like real estate, right? I don't look at the market. I don't look at what everybody else is doing. I stay true to what God wants me to do, and he will provide. He'll order my steps. So as an entrepreneur, if they're out there looking at this, watching this right now, coming from another country, what advice would you give them?
Well, one I think is, you really need to believe in yourself. Because that voice has to come from within, and you almost have to ignore the negative sounds, negative voices outside. So believe in yourself. Number two is, you really want to think long term, because sometimes you get tempted to do shortcuts or do the wrong things, or just go with what the market is doing, but really you don't believe in it. Yeah. And then, because building a business is really about relationships, and it's about building trust. And I feel like that's why we're still here through the ups and downs of economy, through incredible competition now, to things that we do, is because when people come to see us, they know that it's something that they can trust. And then three, try to find people who can support you. And I think now more than ever, because we have social media, there's so many more ways and access to experts, access to people like you, like me, who are willing to help and provide guidance and maybe inspiration. Yeah. And then lastly, keep your family close. And as you climb the ladder of success, you want to make sure you keep your relationships, because that is what will be important and will provide meaning to all the hard work that you've
Especially
done.
If the business goes south, you still have your support system. Correct. Right?
Yes.
So there's three things that I want to ask you before we wrap this up, and these are just about products. Okay? My three top favorite, and I want to hear straight from you. Vitamin C with ferulic acid.
I love vitamin C. Illumia MD has a really incredible vitamin C with vitamin E. And it comes in a beautiful and way to preserve vitamin C, because that's the main issue with vitamin C, is stability. So you want a product that will preserve it, so that when you use it, it actually works.
Yeah. Tretinoin.
Oh, dermatologists love tretinoin. You just have to find a tretinoin that won't irritate your skin, because a lot of it can be irritating, especially the prescription ones. There are retinol products now that contain as well calming ingredients like botanicals or ceramides, so that you can get the benefit of a tretinoin without the irritation.
Most favorite procedure, whether it's microneedling, dermaplaning, or
what's my most, I love them all in different ways, but I think when I do the time machine procedure, it's my favorite because I know it's going to be a big bang for your buck.
I can't wait.
Treatment, and the before and afters, and patients comment because they get this Benjamin Button effect where like every week they look younger, they look fresher, and so they get really excited, and I get really excited. And I've had time machine procedure on my skin. That's kind of how I maintain myself, and I love that about it.
I am signing me up for 10 of those. That's just how this is going to go. Well, Dr. Tess, I cannot tell you how excited, and I have been the whole week knowing that I was going to sit down with you. You guys, if you're looking for just a dermatologist, forget about the fact that she's a cosmetic dermatologist and America's favorite dermatologist, a woman who is worthy of everything she's ever done, all of the accolades that she has earned, and then some. There is no possible way that I could give her any credit where credit is overdue for her. She is a trailblazer. She is a woman of her word. She's a woman of God. Her office, her staff, everything from A to Z is the best and top notch. If you're looking for a dermatologist who happens to do cosmetic dermatology and hair stuff, where can they reach you?
Well, mbeautyclinic.com, and then of course we're on Instagram at mbeautyclinic and at Dr. Tess Mauricio. If you're wondering, just get a free consultation. Nothing to lose, no pressure, just get educated.
And that's the bottom line when it comes to your health. When it comes to your health, whether it's your skin health, anything else that you do to help manage this aging process that we're all going to experience. There's no reversing it per se, but you can. I mean, there's some things you can't do. You have to manage it, and it all starts with your health. So you guys reach out to her. I will have her information. Direct message me if you want any other additional information, but go see her. Consultation is free. She is amazing. Sign me up times 10. I'm your biggest fan. Dr. Tess, thank you so much.
Thank you.
As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. Honor those commitments you make to yourself. This is a good example of taking care of your skin. Just go see her. She's the best. Peace out, San Diego.